Hey guys, this video is a follow-up to my video from last week about the point system. I've been using it a lot. I actually used it by hand before, and then I made the spreadsheet, but now everything is on the spreadsheet. I feel happy that I did that just for my own benefit, and then it's helping you guys is a great thing as well. So in this video I want to talk about the expected amount of points for an item in each slot at 10 million gold. Now this is a lot less helpful than you would think, because what we really would like to do is to map out how the points change as you add more money to each slot. What you'd like to know is the marginal cost of adding 1 point to an item, and if you knew that, then you'd know how much you should spend on each piece to get the maximum overall benefit. So you have 100 million to spend, then maybe using this analysis you'd be able to find out, oh, well, my best set would have 20 million on the glove, 5 million on the belt, 5 million on the boot, and so forth. However, to do that, it's a lot of work. It took me a few hours to get a good grasp of how many points each of these things should have. So what I'm actually going to suggest is that we crowdsource this. I would like some volunteers or something that are willing to search the auction house and use my spreadsheet to value items at different amounts. So like say one person volunteers to do 1 million, and then someone else does 3 million, and someone does 5, someone does 15, someone does 25, and so forth. And then we can get like a graph of how the points change over the amount of money, and from there we can get the marginal cost and do a much more elaborate analysis. But I don't have the time to do this. It would take 20 hours of my time. I could be doing several other things with that. So if each person does 1 hour's worth of work, it's much better. So if you're interested in this, go to my stream. There's a link underneath the video, and then you can drop me a Twitch message, or you can message me on YouTube. That works as well. But anyways, here are the results for the 10 million, and then I'll discuss this and also what it means. Alright, so after a lot of looking, right, rings at 10 million usually have around 360, and amulets have 600, and so forth. You can just read it off the list here. But what does this number mean? This means that if you see a piece that costs less than 10 million but has more than this amount of points, then it's probably a good deal. You should probably buy it. Now sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like 1 million cheaper for 10 more points. That's not worth it, because even if you try to sell it for 10, the auction house is going to eat up your profit, right? So I would recommend you go for the really good ones. Say if you find a ring that costs 8 million but has 400 points, that's probably good enough to try to resell. So it also does not mean that if you find a piece and you value it at 600 points, say an amulet. You got an amulet, it has 600 points, it does not mean you should sell it for 10 million. Certain combinations of searches are much more popular than others, and therefore sell for more even though the items are weaker. That if you've not watched my pin my bar videos, you see that I specifically avoid getting crit chance and crit damage on the same piece if I can help it, and rings and amulets in particular. Or I don't know, there's several combinations of searches that are quickly bump up the price of an item. Magic find is another one. I value it relatively low compared to some people that are just desperate for magic find or something, and they'll put the price, like say an equivalent piece, but adding the magic find on top. If you looked at the marginal cost of adding those points, maybe justify doubling it, but instead on the auction house it would be 10 times as much, which is, I don't know. I don't really dig that. I wanted to. I'm going to be releasing an updated version of the spreadsheet. I've been making tiny improvements on it, and since people value magic find so highly, I felt obligated to raise the value, raise the cost. The amount of points that magic find would have. So it's up to 5 now, and you can customize that to your own use. But I think at 5 it gives a better idea of the true value of an item in terms of what you could get for it on the auction house. But then again, so if you find an amulet and it has 600 points, does not mean you have to sell it for 10 million. Go on the auction house and search. Use the old method. Search and undercut. Or develop a really good intuition about what the prices should be I don't even have that. I search the auction house 2-3 hours a day, and I don't have an intuition of what I should sell items for. I just tend to search and undercut. Okay, so I'm also going to be adding, I'm going to put this in text format for you guys on the updated spreadsheet that's coming out soon. And the next video that I will be doing is for weapons. As you can see, there's no weapon on this list here, and the reason for that is because the point system is not meant to be used for weapons. I said that in the first video, but I keep getting people asking me about this. Don't use the point system for weapons. It's not going to work out as well. There's a separate method for weapons that I'll teach you later. But it's going to take a week or so because I'm going on a trip. When I come back, I'll work on that. So hopefully this initial thing here helps. If you want to help me find the other values, then get in touch, and I'll see you then.